Welcome, everybody. Good to be back with you. Let's just start out by taking some deep breaths, eyes open if you want. Can connect with me on your screen, or if it feels good to look outside, maybe you've got a tree or a plant out there you can look at, connect with that being. But let's just take some few deep breaths together. And on the outhale, on the out breath, if you want to make a sound, you can do that. So breathing in. Na. 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 Seeing if on the next few deep breaths, if you can recognize that there's a way to breathe deeply down into your belly using the diaphragm, which can be very soothing to the nervous system. So maybe even placing a hand on your belly and seeing when you breathe in, does your hand push outwards? So if you want to just watch mine for a moment, you can see. And as I breathe out, you can see the hand retracting back towards my spine. So breathing in. Breathing in. And now I want you to tune into what my shoulders are doing with the in and the out breath. I want you to notice that because I'm breathing in my belly, there's actually not a ton of up and down movement. There is some, but just so pay attention to that. But then what I want you to see is on the out breath, how the shoulders naturally fall unless you're like clenching them. So see if you can come along with me, and by tuning into watching my body, maybe those mirror neurons, those neurons in our brain that we all have that can like help us match somebody else. Maybe those will turn on for you, and you'll get it in a more bodily way. All right, so breathing into the belly through the nose, and then we're going to breathe out through the mouth, and you're just watching my torso now. So breathing in together. So I don't know if you saw that. It's pretty subtle because I'm not breathing a ton up in the upper lungs. I am filling my upper lungs, but so much air is going down into the low abdomen that, see, you can just barely see my shoulders and my chest rising. And then when I breathe out, there is a subtle resting down of my shoulders. Okay. So now that we've gotten the visual of that, now what I want you to do is get the internal feeling of that. And the main thing really is that your belly should be pushing out when you're breathing in. So the hand moves out as your belly fills with air. And then as you breathe out, the belly softens and contracts back towards the spine. So let's just do a few deep breaths like that, eyes open or closed, however you want to be in these next few breaths. And if you want to make a sound on the out breath, if that feels good, then do that. And if you want to just breathe silently on the out breath, then that's fine too. Breathing in. Good. Now, the next thing we're going to do with our breathing as a way to calm and soothe the nervous system before meditation is we're going to keep it real simple at first, and we're going to breathe in deeply and fully into the belly. Okay, we're going to keep the counting out of it for now, just to keep it simple and not cognitive. I want you to be in your body, feeling your body. So we're going to be breathing in deeply to the belly, and then we're going to do a long, slow exhale through the mouth. So you may need to purse your lips to slow things down. So, like, okay. So let's do 5 breaths together like that, and go at your own pace. You don't have to go at my pace. And if you're feeling safe to close your eyes, I would suggest you do that to feel your internal process of breathing more clearly. But if closing your eyes, if you have a trauma history, or if closing your eyes makes you feel claustrophobic or scared, trust that and keep your eyes open. Do what you need to do to feel safe, because we want your system to feel safe. Okay, so again, go at your own pace, but we can start together. Breathing in, feeling the long, slow exhale, feeling the softening of the body in the exhale. Softening the face. Sometimes when we purse our lips or slow down the breath, there's this tendency to make faces and clench the face and clench the jaw. So as you're doing this, keep going while I'm talking. Um, See if you can let the jaw drop, let the mouth, the inside of the mouth soften, the roof of the mouth soften, the tongue soften. Everything in the face is just getting like melting butter. Good. So that's probably been about 5 breaths or more now. Um, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to move into some 1 to 2 breathing. And I've taught this so many times. I'm sure most of you have heard me teach it, but it's just such a good thing to learn for your own nervous system, because it's so easy. And with the holidays approaching, or some of them having passed, um, I think being around family more, and people tend to be moving faster and more stressed out. And this can be a really good way of just in the moment. If you notice your body tightening, this can be a good way to like reset your nervous system and calm your nervous system. So it's called 1 to 2 breathing because of the ratio of the in breath, which is 1, to the out breath, which is 2. So we could do it as an inhale of a count of 1 and an exhale of a count of 2, but that doesn't end up being long enough for most of us. So you could do inhale for 3 and exhale for 6, or you could do inhale for 4 and let's see if I can do this with my fingers. Exhale for 8. All right. So it's 1 to 2. It doesn't matter. It's the ratio. The numbers don't matter so much. It could be 5 to 10. It could be 6 to 12. You get the idea. So the idea is that it should be comfortable, though. There should not be strain. And again, you're going to be breathing in through your nose for the in breath. And for the out breath, you can breathe out through your mouth. For those of you who do yoga, who know Ujjayi breathing, I think I'm saying it right, where you constrict the back of your throat. It's kind of like Darth Vader breathing, I've called it before. It's like, it's another way to slow down the out breath. So if you want to do it that way, that's fine. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do it through your mouth, out breath through your mouth. It's just 1 to 2 breathing. You're going to find, I'm not going to count for you because many of you probably already have an idea of the ratio or the numbers that you like to use. I will often do 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, just to make sure that I'm counting at a steady pace. And you're going to want to make sure to breathe in pretty quickly. You're sucking in a lot of air into your abdomen just to make sure that you have enough air for a long, long out breath. And again, there shouldn't be any strain. So whenever you're ready, just following your own breath and your own technique. And we'll do around 10 breaths this way. But don't worry about counting the breaths. I'll just stop you when it's been around 10 breaths. All right, so 1 to 2 breathing whenever you're ready. Closing your eyes if you're comfortable, open if that doesn't feel good today. Remembering to soften the face, soften the jaw, release the shoulders and the mouth. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or holding your mouth tightly. And just again, remind the body to soften, remind the body to release to gravity, and keep going. Nice. So pausing that, and we're going to add just one more thing into that. Again, many of you have done this before, so you know what's coming next. We're going to add in a short or a medium length breath hold at the top of the inhale. So when your lungs and your belly are full, we're just going to pause the breath there for a moment. And this is sort of like a booster to the relaxation that the 1 to 2 breathing can provide for the nervous system, but it's not necessary. So um, I always say for those of you that have asthma or emphysema or COPD, any breathing problems, don't do the breath hold. It's probably going to feel like a strain. It's not going to feel good. It's not necessary. If you don't have any lung or breathing problems, it's fine to do the breath hold. And if you're new to this, just do like a count of 2 or even a count of 1. And if you're more experienced with this breathing technique, you could do up to a count of 7 on the breath hold. But again, if that feels like a strain, then don't do it, um, because that's going to be the opposite of helping the nervous system to relax and calm down if we're taxing it. All right, so let's do that together. Um, so still 1 to 2 breathing, whatever counts worked well for you. And then in the middle, so after an in breath, say of 3, you might hold your breath for a count of 2 and then breathe out for a count of 6. That could be your patterning. And you can play around with this. The main reason I really wanted to reiterate this technique today is so that over the next several weeks with the holidays and everything, you guys have something that you can do in the moment that actually works very, very quickly. Dr. Andrew Weil is a holistic medical doctor, medically trained as well, who kind of has popularized this yogic breathing technique. And his quote is that it's as good as a benzodiazepine, it's as good as an Ativan, which is a sedative psychiatric medicine. And when practiced regularly and consistently, it really does work quite well. When I've worked with people with bad anxiety in the past, I will have them do a round of 8 breaths like this every 30 minutes. So I'll have them set a timer or just do it at the top or the bottom of the hour. So if you're struggling with significant anxiety, I would suggest you might consider adding this into your routine. And even if you miss, if you miss several times a day, even if you're doing it, 5, 6, 7 times a day, it's going to affect your nervous system positively. All right, enough talking. Let's practice. So add in the breath hold if you want. Breathing problems, don't add in the breath hold, and it's going to do just as much good. All right, so we'll do several rounds of this. Around 8, you don't want to, with the breath hold, you don't want to do more than 8 rounds, according to Andrew Weil. And so we'll do 8 rounds and I'll stop you. You don't have to count them whenever you're ready, in your own timing. For today's purposes, if you do more than 8, it's going to be fine. Remember to keep the jaw and face soft. Release the jaw. pause, breathe normally, and just feel, notice the state of your body, be in your body, feel the sensations of breathing, and just notice. Notice if your energy feels any different now than it did when you first sat down. There's no right or wrong, just noticing. So oftentimes that breathing exercise will calm the nervous system. It's not 100% guaranteed, obviously, but some of you may notice that you feel a little bit calmer, a little bit more grounded. And if you don't today, that's okay. Sometimes our stress levels, our anxiety levels are so high that using this technique is going to take many, many dosings, as I've put it to my clients. It's not going to take effect or take root just the first time, but you have to do it many times. But oftentimes there is an immediate response. So just keep practicing if that exercise resonated with you. And let's shift now to maybe just one more grounding exercise before we move into the quieter, more silent part of our meditation. I want you to start to visualize, whether you're lying down or whether you're sitting in a chair or a cushion. I want you to start to feel the elongation of your spine, not in a rigid way, but in a way that when you breathe in, you can feel your spine getting a little bit longer. If you're sitting, your chin is a little bit tucked. Your crown is up towards the sky. That'll look different if you're laying down, obviously. If you're in a chair, both feet are flat on the ground. If you're sitting on a cushion, you have a stable base. So as you breathe in, the spine elongates, and as you breathe out, the body and the spine soften a little bit. It's this natural pulsation that goes with the breath that you can tune into. This very subtle up and down movement of the chest, of the spine. It's very subtle. And I want you to start to feel the top of your head. There might be sensation there, there might be nothing that you can detect sensation wise, but just tune your awareness to the top of your head. Imagine that there's a point, an energy point at the top of your head that we're going to call the crown. I want you to imagine, use your imagination. So we don't have to have any beliefs about this, but use your imagination to imagine that there is energy that we cannot see. Some of us cannot see. I can't see it. Mhm. There are some who can. And imagine that this energy is the purest light you can imagine. It's bright and clear. And imagine that this energy is all around us all the time. Sometimes we can feel tuned into it when we drop into the present moment. We can feel a connection or a love or a oneness. For some of us, this has happened for brief moments in our life. Some people live in that place more often. And some of us have only experienced that really fleetingly, maybe. Or maybe some of us don't even know what I'm talking about, and that's okay too. It's a place of stillness that I'm talking about when maybe you've experienced it in nature, where just all of a sudden your attention is solely on one thing. You might be looking at a bug or a sunset or a child or the face of your beloved, and it's like time stops for a second and things are just still, and you can feel the goodness, you can feel the love, you can feel the interconnection sometimes. And we are in human bodies, and of course, we want to feel more of those moments, but striving to force those moments always backfires. So let's just instead use them as a reference point for what's possible in the human experience when we direct our attention with love. So it's not just one point in concentration that I'm talking about, it's bringing this attitude of everything's allowed, everything's welcome. And that is a lifelong endeavor to welcome all the parts of you. I'm not saying it's easy. So the concentration with the loving awareness, with the intention to allow all of your parts, all of your experience to be here, nobody left out. That's the idea. And that's the idea as we breathe in through the crown, this white light or clear light, pure light energy. It's those moments of stillness. We're breathing those in through the crown. We're breathing in. For those of you who like the word God, you might use the word God. For those of you who like Allah or oneness or heart or emptiness, there's so many words. Use whatever word feels right to you. You're breathing in the I am. You're breathing in the pure light in through your crown. I want you to imagine breathing that light in through the crown through your body into your heart. And you might imagine that as you breathe it in, the heart starts to shine and glow and brighten and fill. Even if you can't feel it, just use your imagination. Imagine it. And then as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that it's like the heart is pulsing and sharing this love light energy with the rest of your being, your body, your physical body, your energetic body that extends out beyond your physical body. So you're breathing it into your heart, and then as you breathe out, there's this pulsation of light that goes through the rest of your being on the out breath. So see if you can just connect to that imaginative visualization for a moment. It's almost like the energy, the light energy is moving down from the crown to the heart and then down through the rest of the body. Do that for a few breaths. Maybe you feel or imagine that as that light energy moves through your being, it's soothing and healing any emotional or physical or energetic wounds in your body, in your energetic being that need nurturing and attention. So it's a soothing energy, it's a loving energy moving through you. And then, if you wish, adding one more part to the visualization where you connect down into the earth. So, if you're seated and your feet are on the ground, maybe picture roots growing out of the bottom of your feet. If you're seated on your bottom on the floor, you may want to picture a root coming out of your bottom, out of the bottom of your spine, going straight down into the earth and then branching outwards. And if you're lying down, what I've done before is I've pictured lots of roots on the back of my body or whatever part is touching the floor, growing down into the earth, holding me safely anchored to the Mother Earth, connecting me to her sustenance and her nourishment. And then feeling that flow of energy from the crown into the heart, out breath down through the body and down into the earth, connecting you deeply with her, connecting you deeply with her stability, her safety, her nurturing. If you wish, you can continue with the visualization the rest of the meditation. If you want to release the visualization and tune into your breathing, or if you have a mantra, you can do that. So, whatever feels most useful in this moment for you. If you're going to tune into your breath, be in the breath, in the sensations of breathing rather than thinking about the breath. And when the mind wanders, no biggie, no problem. Just bring the awareness back to the next breath and start over again with gentleness. There's no benefit in berating or judging ourselves. It just doesn't work. What works is kindness. What works is compassion. And there's no way to do this perfectly anyway. The mind is designed to think and to plan. And so it's going to do that. So when you notice the mind has wandered from your focus of awareness, whether it be this visualization of the light moving through your body, or whether it be the sensations of breath, be gentle and just come back to the focus of awareness again and again. And staying focused inwardly. And I would invite you to do 3 ohms with me if you want. Remembering that the point of it is to feel the vibration of the sound in your body. So, really tuning inward as you make the sound. And we're just going to do the simple Om. So, breathing in, Om. 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 May the fruits of our practice today spread outwards in all directions and help to end the suffering of all beings everywhere. Thank you. So much gratitude to each one of you for showing up, for going inward, for taking the time to learn how to be more compassionate and gentle and kind with ourselves. Because that's how, little by little, we change the world with ourselves first.